All right. It does look like Spirit moved you out of the way of something that you were no longer learning from or benefiting from. This could be a job, a relationship, a friendship, but when the Tower is here, that's lessons through destruction. So that is when we're not paying attention. If we're with the wrong person, if we're with, going to the wrong job, living in the wrong city, maybe not wrong, but not the most advantageous for you. So if you know that you're in a job that's making you miserable, Spirit comes in and goes, boom, you've been either fired or laid off. But that's the way that Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto work. So if you have been we're in a position, we're in an area, something that wasn't conducive to your own spiritual growth, it does feel like Spirit came in and went boom and broke it all up. So that can be anything from losing a job, affairs, losing money. But it does look like you kind of weren't paying attention, Leo, for the first couple of months, and Spirit went bam. It does feel like it's job or relationship space. But it has afforded you a new outlook. It has given you a different perspective of what is really working for you and what wasn't working for you. The Emperor is here, and he's pretty high and mighty, and he is one of great morals. This does feel like it's someone that has helped you through this time. So don't be afraid to ask for more help if you need it. He's an exalted being. He makes hard decisions. He or she makes the hard decisions so the healing can begin. They usually look at the big picture, at what is best for all instead of just one person. So this may be something you've had to experience over the last couple of months, Leo, is really looking at what is best. It wasn't the easy road, but it was the best one for you. So it does look like maintaining that integrity, speaking from the heart, gifting and receiving help and positive communication is something that will help you get past the Tower. It does feel like the Tower has already happened. It might have happened last week or yesterday, but it does feel like it already happened. And so you're kind of reeling from it and trying to build up your character, build up your stamina, as well as your finances. It does feel like your finances took a little hit on this, so you may be starting over from that as well. So what is above you here is the 8. This is the 8 of Pentacles. This can be physical things. This feels like you're learning. You're learning some new stuff. So with this destruction of the old life, you've had to learn how to redo things. So you may have gone back to school. This may be studying a course online, but it does look like right now you're collecting information either for your new situation, your new job, your new relationship, but it does feel like you are collecting information to add to your arsenal of skills and to help you further you in this new position, this new space. What is in the past, it does feel like you had to walk away from something that you were very integral in, and you kind of took a little bit of a hit emotionally on this. It does feel like no matter what you did, the ship was going down, that decisions had been made prior to you either joining this fight, this corporation, this friendship circle. It does feel like some of the precedents were put in place and you were trying to help things out, but the ship was going down. So it does feel like you had to walk away from something that you thought would be fruitful, and it actually wasn't. It actually was more of an emotional drain, and does look like it pissed you off in the end and that you just had to walk away. But sometimes we have to get to this point to walk away so the Tower doesn't happen over and over and over again. So it does look like you bravely started a new journey. This moon is lighting up for me, so it feels like there's something that's inside of your heart that needs to come out. This feels like a communication that needs to happen. This can be with a lover, a boss, siblings, family members, but it does look like eventually you will have the platform to speak a truth with love and kindness. It does feel like you are holding some resentment, so make sure that's not standing in the way of your greatness, Leo. All right, the next one here is the 4, and this is the 4 of Swords. This is kind of the overthinking. It does feel like that your sleep may be affected, that either your sleep or your food, either you're not sleeping well, or you might be sleeping too much, or something with your food here is not going on right. I do see this belt here around the stomach. It feels like there may be some stomach issues, ulcers, upset stomach, constipation, something like that. But it does feel like the overthinking itis has kind of contributed to that stress level. But it does feel like this communication is just spinning around and around in your head, and it's not allowing you to connect with your creature comforts like food and sleep. So see if you can do a mini meditation or release that. Forgiveness is great. Also looking at all of the positive things in your life before you go to sleep. Kind of that gratitude. I do a gratitude prayer if I can't get out of my own head. But it does look like things are spinning around in your head, and there's a lot of good things that are coming to you, and it doesn't look like the focus is really on the good stuff right now. It's really on the woulda, coulda, shouldas. I should have done this. I should have said that. That's really, anxiety is when our head is too much in the future, and depression is when our head is too much in the past. So the place we can resolve things is present time. So let that stuff go. Do a little bit of gratitude prayers, and that will help you get into present time to see all the gifts that you really do have, Leo, and kind of break this cycle of not sleeping or sleeping too much. Your creature comforts are really being affected, as well as your stomach. The King of Cups is here. Kings are exalted beings. Cups can stand for a water sign. That's a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. And the Cups, this is a kind person with intuition that's trustworthy, that also has pretty good advice and a pretty good foundation. So this does look like someone that has your best interest at heart. This can be a parent. This can be a very good friend. It does feel like someone that may be a little bit more physically older than you, but it does, and if you need to ask for help financially as well, that's okay. These can be finances. These also can be your feelings about them, but it does feel like taking a step into integrity. It also feels like the new things that you're starting after the Tower may put you in a position of leadership and authority. So be balanced in that authority. It feels like that people have a lot of trust in you, and you actually don't take that for granted at all. You have a wisdom about you that is beyond your years. So someone may be asking for your help as well. And intuition is popping out for me as well. So don't be afraid to ask Spirit what your next step is, and to listen to what that is for yourself. But you have a lot of information inside of you, Leo. Don't be afraid to ask for it to show itself. The foundation of all of this is the 3 of Pentacles. This is also trying to find your balance, body, mind, and spirit. I think a lot of this balance stuff and working through stuff is this sudden change with the Tower. So you've had to do a little bit of extra work that you weren't prepared for. But it does feel like it has given you the gift of getting back to yourself and start trusting your own intuition. It does feel like you kind of saw this coming but didn't pay attention to it. But this 3 is mind, body, and spirit. Really, this pentacle is about mind, body, and spirit, and trying to find the balance between work and play and the dichotomies of life, up, down, over, under, open, close. So it does look like you are looking at all the ambiguities in the world and the duplicities of things and how to find your balance within that. It does also indicate that you are collecting more information. You've got 2 of the collecting information. So this may be more on the spiritual. This feels like it's more personal or work related. So it does feel like you're in the process of really fact gathering and figuring out things and kind of setting things up for the next step in the future. The next card is the 9, and you know, 9 of Wands, nines are kind of right before everything is done and over with. It's kind of the last ditch effort. And these wands, this is fire, this is motion. So it does feel like all those great ideas, all those things that you've wanted to do, is now it's time to put a little motion behind it, as well as prioritizing. This feels like you're kind of going through either your spiritual closet, your physical closet, but you're looking at what you would like to release in your life, whether it's on in the physical plane or the mental plane. You know, maybe you don't want, you know, a certain habit anymore. You may have an addiction you're looking at. You may have a behavior that you don't like within yourself. So it does feel like you've pulled off this blindfold. You're looking at things honestly, how they really are, and you're starting to heal yourself, not only on a physical level, but on an emotional and spiritual level. So it's kind of time to sort out the things you need in life and really prioritize how important are they and do you really need them. So you're really, really releasing a lot of the things that don't give you joy anymore, that are just kind of in the way. And this is also on the physical as well as the emotional levels. Here is a 5. You have 2 5s here. 5s can be a little tumultuous. They usually dictate a little work. It does feel like you're kind of in the middle of either a tumultuous discussion or opinions, or putting up the good fight for a cause. So it does feel like put your money where your mouth is kind of thing. You're doing the physical things, but it does feel like a group effort. So for, you know, many of us in female bodies out here in the United States, we are fighting for our rights. So this might indicate that continuous fight that we have, or it can be just, you know, something was out of place and you are joining the fight or signing a petition. But it does feel like something either political or something in your awareness is coming to the center and requires your participation. You know, when we gather with 2 or more, usually our voices can be heard a little clearer. So it does look like you are joining the good fight. Keep up the good work, Leo. King of Pentacles is here. Pentacles can be money. Pentacles also can be earth signs, as Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo. This does not have to be a male because it's in the male position, but it does feel like you have come to a resolution with an earth sign. Again, that's Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, that you have come to some understanding, compromise. The Queen of Wands is right here. That can be your sign as well, whether you're in a male body or a female body, but it does feel like you've come together with somebody, you have compromised, you have worked together to make something happen. It feels like you either started the process or the other person started the process, but together you are a much stronger force and you are able to complement each other. Your opposites complement each other. So this can be siblings, this can be partners, this can be work, co-workers, family members, but it does look like you are now working together with someone and putting your heads together to resolve a certain situation. This 5 is here upside down. This is kind of the disappointment card. It is upside down, so it kind of indicates that you are working together with this earth sign and you are making strides. You are healing the past. You are conquering things together. And this hasn't happened now, it is soon to happen, Leo. So look out for it. It is a positive motion and is more of a team than it is individual struggling against the fray. So this 5 is upside down. It does look like this has bloomed from disappointment. This may have been the disappointment of the Tower originally. And it's okay to ask for help, Leo. Actually, it does indicate that you have asked for help. So huzzah! That's a big deal for us, for fire signs, to ask for a little help. So it has brought a little humility to you, which is always a good thing. humbling is always a good thing. So it does look like that you're able to resolve or see the resolution in the future. It's not futile anymore. So you have been able to ask for help. So congratulations, Leo. Let me throw a couple of these past life cards. These usually validate what's happening in the main reading. So we have Native Americans. That's getting back to the source. Really getting back to who you are and what you stand for. This doesn't necessarily mean it's tribal in nature, but getting back to your tribe. And that happens also with humility and understanding. The next one is finances. It does feel like your finances are coming into view a little bit clearer. You may have had to reorganize things or let things fall for a while, but it does look like the new focus is on rebuilding those finances that were kind of lost with the Tower.